love me. Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.
Hello and welcome back to the Mickelson Racing Channel. Today we are going to work on my 1968 Chevy C20 pickup truck. I do have a lot of work to do on this, and I've been putting it off for years. I've been putting this off. So today we're going to put in a master cylinder, and then hopefully that goes well. I'm not so sure how that's going to work. I don't know if I have the right parts or not. Also, it's still in storage, so it'd be nice if I could put the battery back in it and get it running. We got to put a new dipstick tube in it because the current one leaks bad. The seal on it is worn out, and it doesn't seal, so it just spits oil out of there as you're driving. Other things that we have to do to it is put a larger ball hitch in it, a 2 5/16 for my big trailer, and then I've also got to change from 4 to 7 pin on the trailer wiring so that I can run a trailer brake controller in it. Later this week I have coming a trailer brake controller so I can pull the big trailer, and then I also have helper bags that go in between the rear axle and the frame, and then I also have some more helper bags that go inside the coil spring then, so I'll have redundancy for helper bags if and when I choose to pull this bigger trailer. Today is Friday. This weekend is free. Next weekend is my first big drag race in Brainerd. I don't have a tow vehicle. I just sold my motorhome, and so this guy is going to have to suffice. We're going to have to put this thing together so it can tow the big trailer. So anyway, we got to get to working on this, and first things first, we're going to hit the master cylinder, and hopefully that works because I'm not sure if those parts are correct. So anyway, we'll get into the storage unit here, and then we'll start working. Alright guys, first off I'd like to apologize for the lighting. It might be kind of bad in here. I'm in my storage unit actually working on this. And then there's also some background noise from some guys doing some metal work. But anyway, so I've got the old master cylinder off. This came in a power brake kit. This had manual brakes. And so I put this kit on. It came with the bracket and the linkage back here. And then it came with the booster, and then it came with a master cylinder. Well, I put the original manual brake master cylinder on here because I didn't want to bleed brakes. Well, that didn't work. As you can probably guess, the brakes were just terrible. They're actually worse after that than how they were just manually before. So what I'm doing now is this is a master cylinder that came with the kit that I did not put on, and I should have. And this is the old master cylinder. This is old. I don't know how old this is, but it is old. It was on here when I bought the pickup 8 years ago, and or no, wait, 11 years ago. I've had this pickup for 11 years. Holy cow. So anyway, so this was on here then. I never put a new one on. So this is old, and not that it was bad, but I just wanted power brakes. So if I pull a trailer or if I want to drive around, it's not as much of a hazard. So this is the power brake master cylinder that came with the kit. And my concern here is that my fitting sizes are going to be different than from the old to the new. I don't know. You know, I measured it and I thought they were wrong. And then I ordered adapters and they didn't work either. So we're just going to go for it now. This should be bled. I'm going to check it right now after I get done with the camera here. And anyway, so you just put fluid in. I don't know if there is fluid in here or not anymore. It's been sitting a while. Oh yeah, plenty of fluid. Oh, now it's running all over the place. Well, I just shot myself in the foot there. So anyway, what you do to bleed them is you put these hoses and submerge them inside the master cylinder, and then you push with a screwdriver in right there until all the bubbles come out. It's really pretty simple. So anyway, I got to redo that now because I just screwed myself by dumping the fluid all over the place and making a mess. It was clean before that. Anyway, so I'm going to do that. I've got my DeWalt racing tool set here. I'm not at home, so I don't have my toolbox and everything handy, but this is good enough usually. It comes with a lot of tools. Really like this thing. So anyway, I'm going to get back to work, and then I'll update you as soon as I know something. Shouldn't take me long to throw this on here and figure out if it's going to work or not. I will have to bend these lines out, I think, a little bit, but that's not a problem as long as these fittings are the right fittings, and I don't know that they are. So anyway, we'll see what happens. I'm going to get to work here. Alright guys, so here's the skinny. I got the master cylinder on, and gosh, did this go right on. I've probably been in here for a half hour. So this didn't take very long at all. This bolt pattern's the same. I've had it on this bolt pattern before. This line went right in. I didn't have to bend it at all. This line I had to slightly tweak. As you can see, we're going down a little bit, and then it's kind of at a funny angle, but I don't think I cracked it. I did have to bend it a little bit. It is an old line, but I think it's okay. And then I got that in there. Everything's tightened up. Everything's ready to go. So I should have power brakes now. So I got that part sorted out. Next stop is, I got stuff everywhere right now. Put the battery back in it. As you can see, the battery is gone, and then I got to put the dipstick tube in, and then I can then I'll think about driving it out of here and working on it a little more. Other things I can do today, I can put the 2 5/16 ball on, and I can change that 4-pin to a 7-pin probably. Otherwise, I don't think I can do anything more today. I'm waiting on the helper springs for the axle and the helper bags, or airbags. The helper bags for the axle and the helper bags for the current coil springs. So I can't do anything until those come in the mail. Let's see, I think that's all I've got for today. But anyway, I'm going to work on this other things, and then I'll catch back with you guys later. Alright guys, I have the old dipstick tube out, and I've gotten sitting here next to the new one. Let's go outside a minute, and I will show you, hopefully on the camera here, the differences now between these guys, and why one is junk and one isn't. So this one is beat up. There is a little RTV gasket that I'm sure that I put in when I built this engine 7 or 8 years ago. In 2011, it's 2009, so 8 years ago I built this engine. And this is just a cheapy eBay thing that I got because the engine or the block I picked up didn't come with a oil dipstick tube. So there's the old one. It is beat. Still works, you know, as far as checking oil, but the thing leaked like a sieve. All out of there. You can see how much blow-by or residue or whatever you want to call it there is on that dipstick tube. And this is the new one. This one is just a black deal. It's supposed to be locking, which is a plus. It does look a little better. It's black, which matches my engine bay quite a bit better. There is still no seal, so I'll probably have to do another RTV special on that deal. And you know, that's alright with me. But anyway, so there's the differences between the two, and we're gonna shove this new one in my pickup truck over here, and then I will be one step closer to getting it going. Hey guys, I've got it all buttoned up here. Brake master cylinder is on, oil dipstick tube is in, and battery's in. Battery was charging last week. I've had it off the charger for I think a week now, so hopefully it's still got a charge. I'm not too worried about it. I've got the ramps coming out of the storage unit here, and I'm going to unplug the distributor. That way I can crank it over and let it build oil pressure before it runs. Because it's been sitting for so long, all the oil has likely ran off the bearings. So I haven't given this a test start or anything, so you guys are along for the ride with me. So anyway, we're going to wait for this oil pressure to come up here, and then we're going to start it. It does have fast EFI fuel injection on it, the 1.0 system, with a Tanks Inc. Tank in the back, EFI tank with a Walbro 450 pump, I believe. It's got a 4L80E transmission with the fast EZ TCU controller, low car shift linkage, automatic. Used to be a 4-speed. I changed it over to the 4L80E automatic. This is messy. I didn't realize that I left it such a mess before I put it into storage, but I did. So this is what we're dealing with. It's got a new stereo in it. I don't remember the brand of it, but it's got Bluetooth. It's got a plug-in, and it's really good. I got a speaker up in here, 2 4-inch speakers, and then I have 2 5x7 Alpine S's in homemade boxes underneath the seat. It sounds decent. Gonna upgrade that sometime. Anyway, we're gonna crank this over here, let it build some oil pressure, and hopefully we can get something going. Battery seems to be good. You can hear the fast EFI. There's my screen, has lit up. I don't think I have oil pressure on this screen. No, I do not. So anyway, we're just going to watch the gauge, build a little bit of oil pressure, and then we can plug the tach back in and start it here. So we'll go ahead and crank. Cranking. Let's build some oil pressure. Come on. There we go. Building oil pressure. And we got plenty of oil pressure. All right. The battery seems to be really good in this guy. So that is a plus. Hopefully it's not full of fuel now. That would be my luck, is that I went and flooded it. So anyway, we'll plug the battery back into the distributor. Now I've got 12 volts there. And we'll come back here again. And now hopefully it's not flooded and she'll just light right off. I'll get it on the screen now so you guys can watch the screen with me. And we'll go ahead and crank it, and just like that. No problem. I'm not helping it idle at all. We've got a good 1,000 RPM on the warm-up cycle here. Coolant's only 50 degrees. Air-fuel ratio. There's my O2 correction. Throttle position is 0. You can see when I blurp it there a little bit. Yeah, that tune didn't like that. Wait for it to smooth out there. Yeah, see, it's really correcting that ratio. Air temperature is 56 degrees. We'll let it warm up a minute, and then we'll pull it outside. Alright guys, it's running a warm-up cycle here. It's still pretty cold. Coolant temperature is pretty cold anyway. But this is my pickup. I bought it when I was 15. I've had it for 10 years. It's got fast EFI, 4L80E, EZ TCU transmission controller. It's got a 454 that I built myself in 2011 with the help of a buddy. It's not that rusty, hardly at all actually. I've got a little flip down for my fuel tank, which is out of the cab, and underneath the bed here, it's 24 gallons. 24-gallon fuel tank that I bought from Tanks Inc. It's an EFI tank. It's made for a GTO. Oh, there, she just quit. I haven't driven it much, so the fuel injection doesn't quite know how to compensate for certain things. It's got some cheapo eBay $30 mufflers on it, and they sound really good. The exhaust could use some more work. It just hangs out right there. It's got a little suspension work, nothing too crazy. It's mainly just a driver. One of these days I'll get to using it. But anyway, I'm gonna let it warm up and then I'll get back with you guys later. Coolant temp is it's getting there. Alright guys, I've been tuning on this thing for about an hour and a half, trying to get it to idle better, run down the road better, shift better, all sorts of things. And I think I got an improvement. It seems to be idling now and drives around pretty well now. So anyway, I'm gonna end it off there.